Clara, Tat, as we all know her, Hillegass, was an extraordinary woman who was so dedicated and strong-willed that she was capable of plowing a field of potatoes one day and giving birth the next day. She never took a sick day, not even on the coldest day. Nothing could stop her. She was the type of woman who did not want to be in the spotlight, to the point that even when the FBI showed up looking for one of their most wanted, Tat said calmly, "Well, yes, they camped here. Who are they?" The FBI answered, "Patty Hearst." She was so humble that when asked about her life, she would shrug and say, "I'm just like anybody else." Tat and the legacy, her life that she handed down to her family, has an everlasting impression, not only on her family, but all of those who knew her. Regardless if you knew her for 50 years or 5 minutes, you walked away with a friend. Tat placed God and her family first. She never missed a beat and always seemed to be a step ahead. She had an energy that seemed to be everlasting, right up to the last day she was on the farm. She was still doing the things in life that made her the happiest. Preparing a large meal once a week, spending time with her grandchildren, checking in on her sons to make sure they were okay, helping on the farm, bringing out hot dogs or iced tea, and enjoying her friends and her life. This is the journey of an amazing woman. It's impossible for me to give you all the amazing stories that Tat's family has shared with me. However, I'm sure that as I attempt to share and give tribute to this incredible woman, her friends and family already know just how special she was and how she touched each and every one of us in a way that only Tat could. This is the beginning of a beautiful forever. Tat was born on April 15th, 1929. On March 3rd, 1951, she married Clarence. Isn't it interesting that Clarence and Clara sound so similar? However, they were as different as puzzle pieces that when put together formed a beautiful picture. They were able to build that picture of family, unity, love, and faith. The Hillegass farm was established in 1968. That's 147 years of blood, sweat, and tears that were poured into family history. Tat was as much a part of that history as her husband. Tat took her place next to her husband, working every aspect of the farm just as Clarence did. Clara and Tat had begun a journey that would not only change the lives of their family, but also better the community that they loved. Clarence and Tat helped bring Bedford County into a new era. Clarence became the president of the first phone company, and Tat was right there beside him. At that time, the call system was set up so that there was a main phone at the Hillegass residence. And when a call came in, Tat would not only take that message, but she would run that message out to the person that it was meant for. Tat's responsibilities did not end there. She was also in charge of those payphones, which meant going out and fixing them at any time of the night, or possibly trying to dig a slug out that somebody had stuck in there. There were many late nights that Tat could be found out there working on those payphones. she could probably tear apart just about anything and put it back together, because she was the type of woman that was determined that when she started something, she would finish it to the end. Tat's dedication to the community did not stop there. She was a founding member of many of the committees she served on, such as the Ladies Auxiliary of Shellsburg, the Ladies Volunteer Fire Company, and the Bedford Blues Lodge. As I was listening to all that Tat had accomplished in her life, my first thought was, Tat had to be the original master of time management. How could one woman fit so many things into one day? And that was only part of her days. Above all, Tat placed God and her family above all. Her first concern was always her family. She wanted their family integrity and strong faith to be something that would be seen in their campground. Always having a strong presence, Tat could often be found cleaning the bathhouse, surveying in her golf cart. Tat had a way of really never needing to say a word, but give you a look that told you if you needed to change the direction you were going. Every year, the town would have a Halloween parade, and Tat would spend days decorating her boys' bikes so that they could ride them in that parade. Somehow, this woman was able not just to tell her family how much she loved them, but she was able to show them every day in a very special way. This was the true love of a mother who was willing to sacrifice and do whatever it took to make sure her boys and her family knew just how much and how deep her love ran for them. As I had said, Tat made God her priority, and that was something that could be seen in every area of her life. If you look to her sons and her family, you can see that produced in their life today. If we look back to yesterday for a moment, Wayne brought a couple things in that they had shared with me. And you can see the perfect attendance record for Sunday school. Tat made sure that her family was in church, and not just to show up and say, we're here, but to be part of the church, really part of the church. In today's society, that's not a lot that we see of, but Tat instilled that in her family. In 1964, the Hillegass campground was born from two guys that happened to come up here and say, we need a place to keep our campers where they won't make us pull them out. And so, here we are at Hillegass Campground. I don't believe it was by chance that about that same time, there was a new program that started for the PA Church Council called Chaplains in the Park. For the first 4 years, the chaplains that served at Shawnee only stayed at Hillegass Campground. When the program was opened up to private campgrounds, Hillegass was one of the first campgrounds that signed on to say, yes, we want God in our campground. The Chaplain in the Park program was important to Tat for many reasons. One, she wasn't afraid of the gospel. She wasn't ashamed of it. And she wanted God in the campground. The Hillegass family treat and love everybody here just as family. That's something you can see by watching the interaction at any one of your social gatherings. It's not just a bunch of people showing up. It's one big family. Another thing was that Tat loved the parades. And here is, let's see, the ladies and gentlemen seem to have caught the infamous alligator of Shawnee Park. Along with a few others lurking around, the float entered the Shelburne annual Firemen's Parade was put together by the people from Hillegass Campground in Shelburne. This is just one of many floats that many of you worked on and decorated. I had the pleasure of riding on one year, and it was probably one of the most fantastic events I've ever had the joy of being part of. You guys see it? The Hillegass family has never treated the campers like dollars coming in and out. They've always treated everyone like a family. And that's what mattered to Tat, was family. Not the dollars, not the money, but that everyone could come together in unity. In the same way she pulled her family together and said, we're going to stick together. This is what we're going to do. She instilled that in this campground. And that's obvious just looking around today by everyone that's here to honor an incredible woman. Clara Tat Hillegass may not have been a famous world figure, but in Shellsburg, located in Bedford County, PA, Tat was famous for her kind and loving ways and the perfect figure of how a human being should treat one another. Tat was known for being the fastest hand in Bedford County when it came to killing and cleaning chickens. Now, if you've never tried to catch and kill a chicken, you really don't know just how difficult it is. But it's been estimated that she could do 50 to 75 a day. That in itself is astonishing. She also had a scale, which Wayne has been nice enough to give me a real egg, so I'm going to ask for God's help on this, that she used to measure the weight of an egg. I'm moving very slowly. Can you guys see it? It's backwards. Oh, now you want me to turn it around. Oh, like I'm not shaky enough. There we go.
It's hard to boil.
It's hard boiled.
It's real. It is a real egg.
I know what size egg is. Brenda, what size egg is that?
This is it's on the line, large and extra large.
There you go.
However, when it came to people, Tat never had a scale that she used to measure anyone. To Tat, we were all the same size egg. Each of us was worth more than any amount of money. She was not quick to judge nor to anger. but she was quick to give away a loaf of bread to a family that had no money, or slip a piece of candy to a child from the family store. Tat Hillegass, a woman who found her better half in a man whose name was so close to her own they seemed to be made for each other. A woman who embraced the hard work of a farm right up to her last days. A woman who loved her family so deeply that she has left everlasting memories engraved upon the hearts of her children and grandchildren. Memories of boat rides, glass bottoms, see the fish. Memories of prayers, a lot of prayers. Tat Hillegass embraced everybody she met. If you were a stranger when you met her, you were a friend by the end of the first conversation. A woman who cared about her community and strived to make it a better place for generations yet to come. A woman not afraid to say, "Yes, I do serve the Lord my God." A woman who made major contributions to the chaplain in the park by inviting not just the chaplains into the campground, but God himself to dwell among the campers. As I stated in the beginning, there's not enough hours for me to tell you all of what this incredible woman has done in 86 years. In closing, I can only say that Tat may have parted this world into heaven on April 28, 2015. However, she leaves behind a lasting impression on each and every person whose life she touched in a way only Tat could do. So let's honor Tat's memory by acting and reacting more like Tat did. It is said her strongest trait was her personality. She never complained, never had a harsh word to say about anyone, never raised her voice, and was grateful for every day she lived and lived to enjoy every day.